liberation movement, we don't have anything to do with that. We have not been under the control of the black man for over 500 years, so what do we have to get liberated from them from? They haven't been our boss. That's the white woman and her man. They're going through that, and that's their business. We don't have any business being in there. They only introduced it to break down the civil rights movement. Civil rights movement started with the black man, the black woman, and the black child standing together, trying to plead for freedom, justice, and equality, and more benefits in the country that they had built. They threw the white woman in there with the women's liberation movement and made it a woman against man thing. That created a big separation between black men and black women, because then everybody started going for self. Then they bring the welfare system in and tell us in order to feed and clothe and house our children, we have to give up our man. You have to put the man out of the house. When the white farm wife goes to the government for subsidy for the farm, they don't tell her to get rid of the farmer. They keep that family together.
One thing that I became aware of in my traveling recently through Africa and the Middle East, in every country that you go to, usually the degree of progress can never be separated from the woman. If you're in a country that's progressive, the woman is progressive. If you're in a country that reflects a consciousness toward the importance of education, it's because the woman is aware of the importance of education. But in every backward country, you'll find the women are backward. And in every country where education is not stressed, it's because the women don't have education. So one of the things I became thoroughly convinced of in my recent travels is the importance of giving freedom to the woman, giving her education, and giving her the incentive to get out there and put that same spirit and understanding in the children.
The welfare department came to our home. They talked with my mother about moving into the housing project, but the stipulation was that my father could not be with us. They would put us into the housing project only if he left the state. My mother and father discussed it, and they decided that it was best for the 12 children for the father to leave the home. And that's how we got into the projects.
What up, what up? It's Omar. What's in the fucking hear me today? I have a topic that I want to go over, which is feminism, black feminism at that. I don't agree with it. I think that it's a very divisive ideology that was implanted in the black community, not to bring people together, but to keep us separated. What is feminism? Let's talk about that. What exactly is feminism? Feminism, in actuality, is a power struggle. You know that women didn't have rights back in the day, and there's a lot of women who didn't have rights. There's a lot of women who couldn't work, etc., etc. So feminism, what we think, what the masses think that feminism was a way to rectify the situation, was a way to balance out the playing ground. But that was something that white women had with their counterparts, their white men. But our women have now adopted that, and they're trying to colonize our women's minds with this bullshit. Because in actuality, in the black community, when did black men create anything that's going to oppress a whole group of people? Did black men make these laws that are oppressing and making women earn less money? Did black men institutionalize racism, redlining, infiltrating the community with drugs? Did black men do that? We didn't do any of that. So, and in actuality, if you really want to look at it and get real with it, the most oppressed people in America right now is black men. Black women are, now if you look at, you compare it to your counterpart, which is the black men, black women are more employed because they're not a threat. So the white men will hire a black woman before they'll hire a black man. They're more employed. Black women are more educated. They're making more money So who's your fight with if you really think about it logically? Now, that's going to be the whole premise of this video, is to open your mind and get you to stop thinking with emotion and think with logic for a second and really look at the world the way it is and not the way he told you they're supposed to look at it. And the reason why I want you to do that is because in the court of public opinion and when it comes to dogmatic thinking, it's easy to sway the masses and make you believe whatever they want you to believe. But when you look at things critically, you're allowed to really look at it and look at it for what it truly is, and then you can get back to what you truly feel, not what they want you to feel, not what you've been taught to feel, not reflexively just reacting to whatever society wants you to feel, because that is sheep mentality. And if you know, I'm all about alpha men, and I want you to be alpha, and alphas make their own mind. Alphas think about things and they come to their own conclusions, not the pre-masticated conclusions that people want you to, possess. So now that we did a little brief history of feminism, the brief origins of them, again, I want you to do your own research. This is a video, so I'm not going to go all the way into it, but what I'm saying, I'm just giving you some major bullet points. And now, again, I always want to expand your consciousness and open up your consciousness. So I'm going to give you things to think about, but then I want you to go do your own research and come to your own conclusions, because I can't tell you not to take what they're giving you and take it as fact, the same way I can't tell you what I'm telling you and take it as fact. I'm just here to give you some shit to think about. All right? So let's go into some stats. There's an overriding theme, an underlying theme, that is, called gaslighting. In my opinion, this is at the core of feminism. This is the core of how the white man can control you and has been controlling us, since they came here. All right, so I'm going to talk about gaslighting and what gaslighting is. I'm just going to read it right from the book. I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to paraphrase and give you my opinion of gaslighting. I'm going to tell you exactly what gaslighting is, and then I'm going to get into the rest of it after that. All right. So, gaslighting is a manipulation tactic used to gain power, and it works all too well. Gaslighting is a tactic in which a person or entity, in order to gain power or more power, makes a victim question their reality. It works much better than you may think. Anyone is susceptible to gaslighting, and it is a common technique of abusers, dictators, narcissists, and cult leaders. It is done slowly, so the victim does not realize how much they've been brainwashed. All right, there's 11 signs, there's 11 warning signs, or 11, characteristics of gaslighting. They tell blatant lies. This is an outright lie, yet they are telling you this lie with a straight face. 2, they deny they ever said something, even though you have proof. 3, they use what is near and dear to you as ammunition. For instance, they know how important your kids are to you, and they know how important your identity is to you. So those may be one of the first things they attack. If you have kids, they'll tell you that you should not have those children. They will tell you that if you were a worthy person, let me retract that. They will tell you be a worthy person if only you didn't have a long list of negative traits. They attack the foundation of your being. They will wear you down over time. This is one of the most insidious things about gaslighting. It is done gradually over time. A lie here, a lie there, a snide comment here every so often, and it starts ramping up after that. Even the brightest, most self-aware people can be sucked into gaslighting. It is that effective. It's the frog in the frying pan analogy. If the heat is turned slowly, the frog will never realize what's happening until it's too late. Their actions never match their words. When dealing with a personal entity that gaslights, look at what they're doing rather than what they're saying. What they are saying means nothing. It's just talk. What they are doing is the issue. They throw positive reinforcement just to confuse you. Now again, I want you to really think about what I'm saying and really absorb what I'm saying, and then apply it to what's happening right now in the black community. Just want to put a little bookmark right there and just, talk about that really quickly. This person or entity that's cutting you down, telling that you do not have value, is now praising you for something that you did. This adds an additional sense of uneasiness. You think, well, maybe they aren't so bad. Yes, the fuck they are. This is calculated to keep you off kilter and again to question your reality. Also, look at what you are praised for. It is probably something that served the gaslighter. They know confusion weakens people. Gaslighters know that people have a sense of stability and normalcy. Their goal is to uproot this and to make you constantly question everything. And humans' natural tendency is to look to the person or entity that will help you and feel more stable. And that happens to be the gaslighter. They project. I'm going to repeat that. They project. They are the drug user or cheater, yet they are constantly accusing you of that. This is done so often that you start trying to defend yourself and are distracted from the gaslighter's own behavior. They try to align people against you. Gaslighters are the masters of manipulating and finding the people they will know will stand by them no matter what. And they will use these people against you. They will make comments such as, this person knows that you are not right. This person knows you are useless too. Keep in mind, it does not mean these people actually said these things. A gaslighter is a constant liar. When the gaslighter uses this tactic, it makes you feel like you do not know who to trust or turn to. That leads you right back to the gaslighter. And that's exactly what they want. Isolation gives them more control. That's important. I'm going to expand on that later on. But remember what I just said, that's 9. That's something that the white man uses. And this whole tactic of feminism is a major gaslighting technique. Like I said, they will praise one people and give you a little praise and throw you off and shit. But then they want to isolate. Now, I've said this before in other videos, so I don't mind being redundant because this is how important the message is. If you want to build a nation, it starts with family. Family starts with man and woman. So you have man and woman, children, family, neighborhoods, communities to nations. So if they can keep us divided, they'll keep the control. And this is a major tactic in gaslighting. 10. They will tell you or others that you are crazy. This is one of the most effective tools of the gaslighter. Because it's dismissive, the gaslighter knows that if they question your sanity, people will not believe you when you tell the gaslighter is abusive or out of control. It's a master technique. 11. They tell you everyone else is a liar. By telling you that everyone else, your family, media, etc., etc., is a liar, it again makes you question your reality. You've never known someone with the audacity to do this, so they must be telling the truth, right? No. It is a manipulation technique. It makes people turn to the gaslighter for correct, quote-unquote, information, which isn't correct information at all. The more you're aware of these techniques, the quicker you can identify and avoid their trap. Now, again, I'm here just to raise your consciousness and to open your eyes. Do your own research, fact check, stat check everything I say. But I'm here just to at least get that ball rolling and initiate, the process of you taking your life and your consciousness and your subconsciousness into your own hands. So now that I told you about gaslighting and talking about feminism, let's talk about this real quick. Ultimately, you believe that black men is out here raping everybody, stealing, killing, all this black on black crime. You hear people say this shit, and we are so villainized, right? So I went on the FBI crime table This is right off their fucking website. Again, that's why I say, think for yourself. I went on their website and I looked at these crimes: murder, manslaughter, rape, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, larceny, theft, motor vehicle theft, arson, violent crime, property crime, other assaults, forgery, counterfeiting, fraud, embezzlement, stolen property, vandalism, weapons, prostitution, sex offenses, drug abuse, and gambling. White men, of all these crimes, white men doing from 50 to 75% of those crimes all those crimes are dominated by white men. You wouldn't think that if you listen to the media. You wouldn't think that if you looked on Instagram, looked at all the memes about how niggas ain't shit and et cetera, et cetera. You wouldn't even think that. Those are the fucking stats. Literally. And when it comes to another thing, they try to make it saying we're the ones who are killing and raping and all that shit. When it comes to sex offenses, 76% of all sex offenses are done by white men. But they'll have you believing that we did that shit. Drug abuse, 72% white men. Now, as far as with sex offense, that's 21% black men, 25% for drug abuse. But they'll have you thinking that it's us and thinking that roles are reversed. That's why I wanted to talk about gaslighting. Now, let's go into a deeper thing. The same way in my soul, I knew this shit that he was telling us was wrong. How come in your soul, y'all black feminists, how come in your soul y'all don't say, you know what, this is my other half. These are the black men that I love, or we claim we love. How come you didn't do the same thing? How come you didn't go and look for stats that prove that black men are not this evil thing that y'all would like to believe that we are? How come you didn't go do your own research? How come you do your own history? Go and look at your own stats. Because in my soul, no matter what anybody tells me about black men or women, I'm not going to believe it. I'm going to go and do my own research. And I'm not saying that we don't have issues. I'm not saying that black communities have a lot of shit we got to overcome. But in my opinion, the first thing we need to overcome is get over this fucking gaslighting. We need to go and we need to come together. We need to let all this shit go and stop letting the abuser tell us what to fucking think. Stop letting the abuser tell us what to feel. And let's deal with what's real. Let's deal with that. And again, let's deal with our own issues in-house. In-house. Let's deal with them in-house. Let's us all have a really good conversation together and come together and really be real and honest with what's going on. You hurt me because of this. You hurt me because of that. Both parties, both sides of that. And let's get back to us. Because at the end of the day, there's no black man without black women and vice versa. All that I don't need a nigga shit is stupid. And it's dumb. And I'm going to do another video about that, talking about that as well. You know, talking about giving some stats about, you know, single parent homes. And again, the gaslighters, what do? They tell you that you don't need a man. And they reinforce it with shit like Black Girls Rock. Now don't get twisted, that's a good look that you got that. It should be Black Girls Rock, but it should be Black People Rock. You feel what I'm saying? Because again, it's black man and black woman, not black man or black woman. It's not women, white women and white and black women versus, you know, black men and white men. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Now, another thing I'm going to tell you is this real quick. Just as far as critically thinking, if everybody knows that white men are public enemy number one when it comes to, you know, who's doing the most crimes and who's doing the most rapings and who's doing the most, you know what I'm saying, terrorists, who you know what I'm saying, terrorism and all that shit, who's disrupting other governments. If white men are doing that, right? And black women, if you're aligning yourself with white women, who do you think nurtured these white men? Who do you think that, you know what I'm saying, who do you think nurtured them? The white women. That's their fucking mother. So what do you think that these people just totally different and separate to them? They come from the same tree. But you're aligning yourself with them. Just wake up, people. That's all I ask. Just wake up. So now I'm gonna give you all some more stats or some more information. So we need to get back to, I'm gonna get real deep before I end this, or before I even go into that. Like, subscribe, comment. I want to open dialogue, and I want to get people talking. And again, whether you agree with me or not, it's not about whether you agree with me. That's not my concern. My concern is to at least to make you fucking think. That's my concern. To make you question what's been given to you, the origin, who's giving it to you, and what's their reason for it. And also, let's talk about, again, the fact that you're so easy to believe it. Because that, it means in your soul, that means the white man's corrupted your soul. And that means in your soul, you really have believed that black men are everything that negative that they say about us. And that to me is sad. And also, you believe that you believe that black women, you yourselves, everything that negative that the white man says about you as well and promotes about you as well. You also, because you perpetuate the stereotypes. So again, to me, black feminism is no good. Now what is good is women sticking together. What is good is women actually coming and building and supporting their men, and their men supporting them. And again, it's about family. It's about one and the other. Like, you don't have negative energy without positive energy. You don't have feminine energy without masculine. They work hand in hand. That's the reason. That's the way God made it. You love Christianity. That's the way God made it. Look in every religion, that's the way it is, except for maybe when it comes to Judaism. That might be the only religion where it's male dominated. But all the major religions, it's man and women. Look into Kemet and Egypt and all that shit. It's man and woman. It's not woman versus man. It's not how it is. And that's why and you look in America, we're a civilized country, but we have some of the most high incidence of mental illness in any quote-unquote civilized country. That's because the energy is off whack. Now, for us, I said, I don't give a fuck what they do. They're going to do what they can do. We're going to do no matter what. But what we need to do is understand who the real oppressors are. We need to understand what their tactics are. And we need to unite and come together. And really come together. And love each other and really love each other. Not just say I love you on some attachment shit, because it's another video I will do. Love versus attachment. You just attach to the person because you're supposed to be? Or do you love them? Because love means truly understanding them. Love means empathy and taking that person to your soul and really looking for the good in them. Because if I talk to you and you trying to find anything that's wrong with me, and you already on defense or on guard because you believe what the white man told you about what the black man is, and you're not even looking at the fucking stats I just told you just now, and there's much more out there. But you're not looking for the truth, and you just believe whatever you've been told, and you're on guard now because of that, and you allow them to corrupt your consciousness and your soul, because ultimately what you feel about the counterpart is your soul, because every woman has a masculine side, every man has a feminine side. So if that's what happens, then you don't truly love me. You don't love black men, and black men don't love black women if we feel that way. So again, like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. I appreciate your time.
If you want to take over a planet, okay, if you want to completely take over a planet, the first thing that you have to do is you have to take out the alpha males or the strong males from the planet. Because the strong alpha males protect the divine feminine. Through television and films, how they are feminizing men more and more and more. You'll see men dressed up in female clothes. The cane is a phallus, or male energy. The two circles on either side are to control the male energy. This is not to empower the female in any way. This is a trick to make it look like that it's empowering the female, when in fact it is taking away the protection from the female. The feminism movement that happened in the 60s was to destroy the family unit from the inside out.
But it has been us as black women who have never been examined. We have been protected. We have been insulated. We have been kept from any kind of criticism about our personal behavior in the home and outside of the home. And we have been given the false compliment that we are the backbone of the black nation. There is no doubt in any community in this country that the men in those communities are the backbone of their nations. There is no doubt in the white community that the white man is the backbone of his nation. The European, the Buddhist, the Korean, the Japanese, the Hispanic, all of those men are the backbones of their community, and there's no doubt about it. It is only in the black community where those values have been transposed and where they put that burden on us and tell us that we are the backbone of the black community, which is a direct insult to the black man and implies that he don't have no backbone and that his women have to represent him. I remind people all